Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you give everything to your job, but it gives you nothing back? I mean, think about it for a moment. You've probably been at your job a long time. When was the last time the boss came up and said, hey, thanks for all the years of your dedication. We really appreciate it. Or when was the last time the boss just said, hey, listen, we appreciate all that overtime you did last week. It really means a lot to us. If you're like most people, it probably doesn't happen, right? So what about promotions? You've been at a job a long time and, you've been passed over for promotions. They've hired somebody younger, somebody that doesn't cost as much because, they're trying to keep it cheap. And then you end up working for somebody who doesn't have half the experience that you have. I mean, it's frustrating. I get it. I've been there. Or how about when they increase your workload, but not your pay? When your boss says, hey, we just need to add one more thing to your workload here. And you get to a point where you're like, oh, I just can't do that anymore. That frustration is there. And I understand it because God knows I've been through that as well. And, let's talk about how all that extra work affects your mental health, right? You start getting stressed out. You start feeling like, oh God, I don't want to go into work today. The weekend comes and you start to relax. And then it's Sunday night and you start to feeling those knots in your stomach because you got to go through all that for another 5 days. I get that, and the frustration of it all. And then the burnout, it's all real. And I understand that because I've been through that, right? And then you start thinking to yourself, I've been here for so long. I feel stuck. I guess this is just the way it's got to be. Well, I got news for you. It's not the way it has to be. There is something more for you. Okay. You're not stuck forever where you are. I promise you that. And in the next video, how to take the power back, I'm going to share some action steps with you that you can start taking right now to rebuild your confidence and take control again. Look forward to talking to you in our next video, guys.